We've received some more guidance on Biden's new parole in place program for spouses of U.S. citizens. Recently, USCIS sent out an email to me, and I'm sure anyone else who's registered for this, like other attorneys, explaining some of the details of the program, even though it's not in the Federal Register yet and it hasn't been implemented. They give us some guidance on what we should expect. So today I'm just giving you guys an update so that if you think you might be eligible for this program, you can begin preparing. So forgive me, but I'm going to be reading a little bit directly from the email that they sent me, which I printed out. So they specifically say USCIS is not currently accepting applications yet under this program, but we will begin accepting applications on August 19th. So good news. Initially, they said towards the end of summer, they'll begin rolling the program out. Now we have an official date, August 19th. If you apply before August 19th, we will reject your application. And when they say application, you might be thinking like, what form? The form will probably be Form I-131. It's the regular application for different types of parole, but we will need to supplement the form with a lot of evidence and probably like a cover letter explaining what the contents of it is. They go on to say, again, you cannot apply for this process yet. We will publish a Federal Register notice that will further explain eligibility and the application process, including the form to use and the associated filing fees. So when I said Form I-131, I'm just speculating because there have been other parole programs in the past and they've all used that form, but there might be a different form that they issue, some variation of the I-131, if I had to guess. What you can do now. So the requirements for this are that you must be present in the U.S. without admission or parole, have been continuously present in the U.S. for at least 10 years as of June 17th, 2024. So you should have probably entered before June 17th, 2014. Have a legally valid marriage to a U.S. citizen as of June 17th, 2024. So as I've said in my other videos, if you got married after that date to a U.S. citizen, probably can't apply for this program. Not have any disqualifying criminal history or otherwise constitute a threat to national security or public safety. They don't define what that is. I created another video a few weeks ago where I speculate, but we don't actually know. And then finally, otherwise merit a favorable exercise of discretion. When they say that, they usually just mean you have to generally be a good person. The notice goes on to explain some things you can begin doing now to help prepare for August 19th. So they say, although we cannot currently accept applications, you can begin to prepare to file a parole application by gathering evidence of your eligibility. So most of this stuff is going to be proof that you've been here for the last 10 years since around June 17th, 2014. And the examples they give is evidence of a legally valid marriage to a U.S. citizen as of June 17, 2024, such as a marriage certificate that predates June 17, 2024, or includes the actual date of June 17, 2024. We're not exactly sure yet. Documentation of proof of identity. So you'll need identity documents, and some examples they give is a valid state driver's license or ID, birth certificate with photo identification, a valid passport. Valid usually means not expired, and any government-issued documentation bearing the requester's name, date of birth, and photo. Other evidence can include evidence of your spouse's U.S. citizenship, such as a passport, birth certificate, or certificate of naturalization. So, of course, you need to also prove that your spouse is a U.S. citizen. That's where this evidence comes in. And then documentation to establish your continued presence in the U.S. for at least 10 years as of June 17, 2024. Some specific examples provided in this notice include rent receipts or utility bills with dates. So it would be best if they went back as far as possible. School records, those can be letters, report cards, etc. Hospital or medical records showing you've been here. Attestations to your residence by religious entities, unions, or other organizations identifying you by name. So you could probably get a letter from like your church or employer or any organizations that say like, this person has worked for us for these years, they're a good person, you should help them out. Something like that. Money order receipts for money sent into or out of the U.S. A lot of people send money outside of the U.S. These can be records that you've been here continuously for that time. Birth certificates of children born in the U.S. This is a particularly good one because it also proves that you're married. But the birth certificate of your child born in the U.S., if the child was born more than 10 years ago, probably means you were in the U.S. more than 10 years ago. So that's good evidence. Other evidence can include dated bank transactions, so bank statements going back as far as possible, old checks, things like that, automobile license receipts, title or registration going back years, deeds, mortgages, or rental agreements, so like your rent lease if you have that for a couple years, insurance policies, or tax returns or tax receipts. That's a big one. A lot of people have been paying taxes even though they're here without status. Copies of your tax returns are good evidence to submit. And remember, this program is also available to the non-citizen children of those undocumented spouses. So this notice goes on to provide some evidence we can submit for those children. Evidence of the child's relationship to the non-citizen parent, such as a birth certificate or adoption decree. Evidence of the non-citizen parent's legally valid marriage to a U.S. citizen as of June 17th, such as the marriage certificate, and evidence of the child's presence in the U.S. as of June 17th, 2024. So, interestingly, this doesn't seem to suggest that the child needed to have been here for at least 10 years, but we're not 100% sure yet because the Federal Register hasn't come out. We don't know what the exact rules are. And then they repeat, remember, you cannot apply for this process yet. And then the rest of the notice basically goes on to say that be sure you use a real lawyer. Lots of people are scamming people. Whenever there's some sort of massive immigration program, the scam artists come out of the woodwork. If you want to talk about this, or you think you qualify, or you want to learn more, schedule a consultation directly with me. I am a real immigration lawyer. I practice nationwide in the United States. I'd be happy to walk you through the process. And we can start the consultation by creating a list of evidence that you need to gather so that you're ready to go by the August 19th filing date. We are handling these applications in my office. So if you need assistance or you need some guidance, I would be more than happy to assist you with this process. If you're new to my channel, I put out videos like this on a weekly basis. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week for another one.